Hello everyone, this is Greyshot 17 here, bringing you another Company of Heroes 2 commentary. This time, I am playing as the Soviets because, well, I kind of excel at the Soviets. I'm better than at least the Americans. But Redman and Tankkiller are pretty well American players, and GTA, of course, is another Soviet player. The enemy team, we have 3 Overcommando players and 1 Wehrmacht, Majumba, the Dripping Tool, Dark Maga, and yes, that guy looks like he has no name, but it's just ... which I give him credit for because that's something actually pretty interesting. Because like I got killed by, wait, who was that guy again? Well, in any case, Ryan of course is with Tankkiller on the far left, and I am pretty much on the far right. Now, of course, I'm immediately going to build a support weapons campagna, and luckily Redman is going to move up his rear echelon forces to the mid. Now, of course, GTA is yellow, Tankkiller is blue, yeah, light blue. Redman is green, of course, no, my color. Majumba's red, Dripping Tool's purple, Dark Maga is like this orange, and of course the no name is brown. So if you see pretty much this guy, yeah, it's just 2 dots, which once again, very clever. Now if we look here, pretty much they have 3 Overcommando West players, so expect, anytime you have Overcommando West, expect a heavy frontal assault because of these Sturm Pioneers. Now these things own, of course, medium to close range with their very effective guns. I don't know what guns they are, but I do know they're very effective. Pretty much like upgraded, what are these things called? MP40s, like it's like similar to like what the Pioneer Squad has, except more powerful, better, and they have more armor. So they're definitely like an upgraded, very good frontline assault unit. The problem is they lack very good long range support, and if you get riflemen, like 2 squads with long range, they'll tear these things apart. Now, of course, Volksgrenadiers help them out and are pretty much the backbone of the Overcommando army. The Wehrmacht player, of course, is on the far right, so of course I'm not going to really have to deal with him. But he's sending up actually 2 Pioneer squads, which again, very close range, very heavy frontline attack. But again, we're trying to push. Now, of course, here, Ryan is keeping his units pretty much close together, and, of course, Tankkiller is close by. That way he can suppress the troops, and Ryan can do a nice little flanking maneuver on them. But, of course, Ryan doesn't have to really worry that much, because these units, again, the Wehrmacht player, you really don't have to worry too much about, because, again, they don't have that, like, heavy front line. With Overcommando West, you have the Sturm Pioneers, and, of course, you have the Kübelwagen, which is right there, and pretty much it helps own enemies. Now, on my side, I'll admit, the defending team on my side has a better advantage because they have these nice little walls that pretty much allow for these excellent cover, and yeah, just a lot of pain. Although, as you can see here, there is some cover on my end, but it's not even close to how good like this cover is, because you just put MG right here and it'll just start owning me. It's harder to like pretty much hold these areas, and as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3 areas here to block and pretty much hold. Over here, pretty much you can hold this point roughly if you just block this area up, this area like here, and then up here, and pretty much you can just pretty much push them all in the one centralized area. So again, each side has its own like perks and values, and even though it doesn't look symmetrical, it actually can be deceiving. Now, if we look here, we have an excellent attack by Redman with his riflemen and my conscripts. Because again, I'm not going to push over here because I know I'm not going to do very well. Well, except for of course the Kübelwagen, which I bring out. But oh, look at this! I have an MG, which is going to suppress your forces. So we were able to push them back. He's able to grab the center, and then we move in a rifleman squad and a conscript squad to do a joint assault over here. Now, I have another MG right here, blocking both points, which is good for me, because again, that stops them. Tried to put up mines, it didn't work necessarily, had to retreat them. Not retreat them, just move them away. But this Kübelwagen is now retreating. It's doing exactly what I want to, because I'm going to pick up this MG and move up. And we're also putting down smoke from the riflemen. This is allowing us pretty much to move up without being seen, or at least his forces. What the Kübelwagen is going to do is focus on mine, and then the riflemen are going to come around, flank it, and because it's in heavy cover, and also hitting it from the side, Kübelwagen is pretty much going to have a very, very hard time stopping them. But what they also did, which is really smart, is right here, you can see they blocked it, so I can't necessarily... One of the tactics here is to run around here and pretty much move in. Can't really do that here with the barbed wire, so that kind of blocked him off, but it also blocked me off as well. So, yeah, there's that. Unfortunately, this thing is right here and it's killing me. There's been a glitch for some reason with this MG. I don't know what it is, but it will retreat and it'll set itself back down. I don't know why it's doing that, but it is really, really annoying. Well, anyway, my other MG is going to start suppressing that thing, and because he's so close to dying, oh, and he's going to retreat. Now, of course, Red Man's going to chase that Kuba wagon, and he kills it with his rifleman. So that's a devastating loss for ... Now, of course, I'm going to move my troops around, move up the MG with my pull up an MG with my conscripts, have my mortar team for support, and get him up an AT gun to help with some heavier armor because I'm afraid of scout cars and other things coming up and giving me a very, very bad day. Now, as you can see here, pretty much Dark is moving up a nice little force. He has double MGs, which is going to make it extremely difficult to push up. Because again, if you have two MG squads, they're just going to cover each other. And yeah, you smoke one, but you have to be very precise in smoking both to move up. We look over here. Ryan and Tank Killer are doing an excellent offensive, and they're doing pretty much a joint effort. He's using his MG to pretty much stop them from moving this way, and I'm also which force the Grenadiers in that building. One way to get him out of suppression, just run him in a building real quick. However, as you can see here, Ryan's bringing up AT. I'm sorry, that was Ryan's MG, sorry, and Tank Killer's flanking. But the thing is, they have this support gun, which is cheaper than the American support gun. I don't know if the American support gun is necessarily better by a lot, but you have a few of these things, and they'll do devastating damage because they'll fire long range, and they'll do. They're not like a mortar in which they'll fire immediately, like very close up, but they have the arcing shot, which again, as you can see, will hit and fire and go over obstacles. Now, of course, Red Man captured this point. I'm moving up an MG, and then of course to pretty much counter. He's going to push that back with this and also AT. That Kuba wagon is going to stay back because again, it knows if it keeps attacking, my AT gun will kill it, so it falls back. I also put my squad in there to pretty much, oh, it's so lucky, pretty much keep them back. But as you can see here, they are culminating a bunch of forces for a large-scale assault with a Stern Pioneer squad coming into flank because again, I'm blocking this area. But as you can see here, they're just going to, by the skin of their teeth, get out of my line of sight. Oh wait, never mind. I was able to push them back. But again, they have this. This is actually an excellent spot because again, the trees block it from view. I didn't even know they were here, so that's why they kept attacking me consistently. That's an excellent place to put a half track if you want to. But as you can see, they pretty much for resource-wise, because we captured so many points, are doing okay. Elber Commando West typically in Vermont get less than the American players and Soviet players, but overall, again with munitions, that's really not adjusted that much. It's about equal. Now, if you look here, pretty much the Wehrmacht player and the Open Commando player giving Tank Killer and Ryan definitely something to talk about. They're trying to put this thing down because, again, as you can see here, this is a major point. This is a major munitions point. So they're trying to put that down. That way they can start getting extra munitions. Now, unfortunately for them, GTA is starting a nice little artillery battle, which is going to start messing them up a little bit. Now, Red Man, of course, has been doing his own offensive. He's pushing up and trying, but unfortunately these MGs... And again, if you're wondering how they got MGs, most likely, again, if we look here, they have the fortifications doctrine. So I'll do it that so you can see what's going on. GTA picked shock mortars, ISU. Airborne company for Red Man. I went shock rifles. IS-2 is great. Again, incendiary barrage. But again, as you can see here, they have Fallschirm Jäger squad. Majumbo did nothing. He hasn't picked anything. Breakthrough and special operations. So that's why he has two. Again, they're not as good as the MG42, but they're decent, and they'll at least hold the enemy back. Especially two. Unfortunately, I smoked, which allows me to get closer. My mortar, I also moved up to help, and my shock troops are just going to take this out. Then I'm going to run over and take this guy out. He does have a Fallschirm Jäger squad coming in, and he probably deployed that from that building to move up. But the problem is they're suppressed, and then the captain moves in, and that's not going to help him out. So I deploy another smoke, which is going to allow my shock troops to move up. And, yeah, that's going to help push him back. As you can see here, he's on the retreat. So from there, I'm just going to be like, okay. Now, as we can see here, they are doing something really annoying. They're just sending from all directions, and then, of course, my mortar, my MGs, pretty much my entire front line is slowly falling apart just because of all the infantry. That's the problem with the Soviet MGs. They're not really good for defensive unless you, like, cut them into, like, a narrow area, which sucks. I have conscripts moving up an engineer squad, which just got finished the tank honey of pretty much the T-34 factory. So luckily, if you're wondering what that was that Redman just brought in, Redman deployed this from these pretty much scout troops. Specifically, they're pathfinders, but they can deploy this little detection device, which allows for paratroopers to pretty much deploy very spot on and very to the point in certain areas. So if you can pretty much deploy them anywhere, and then paratroopers are excellent in a firefight. They have good rifles pretty much all around. But what they also have that, of course, the enemy doesn't know, is they can be upgraded with submachine guns and I believe a bar, so they can be turned into very effective infantry. Now, unfortunately for them, I have a T-34 moving up. So, yeah, they made a huge offensive and they pushed me back and they killed my mortar and an MG and a few other things. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm very disappointed about. But, I'm moving around conscripts for a flank. Redman is moving up his forces, even though he's pretty much being pressed. But I'm moving up, again, my T-34 to pretty much hit them head on. Because as you can see here, they have no major AT. That's the thing. He has all anti-infantry with the pulse stream Jaegers and everything. No anti-infantry, anti-tank. Brown, similar. He has one anti-infantry unit. I'm sorry, anti-tank unit. Now, if we look over on the pretty much the other front, look at this. This is spam. This is ridiculous how much spam this guy has. Like, I don't considerably call spam. I think 3 support guns consistently firing. That's annoying. But he also has his MG42, which is using the incendiary barrage. It's not incendiary. Yeah, no, it's incendiary ammo to pretty much kill this thing. Which I don't know why GTA didn't move immediately, because it pretty much destroys everything. Do not get in this thing's way. It will absolutely own you. So he's pretty much just going around and owning all these support guns. That's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, the Jagdtiger is here, and it's saying hello to all the tanks and everything. And of course, if this thing does like a nice little shot or anything, it's probably going to die. But at least he was able to take out one, but they might regroup it, so it may have been a short-lived victory. Yeah, that thing's probably... Yep, there it goes. So I lost a lot of forces over here, just because these god-dang Stern Pioneers, which took my flamethrower, by the way, and instantly killed my Pioneers. I'm like, I'm going to kill you. This will be easy. No, it's not easy. I'm like, are you kidding me? This thing literally just drove me bonkers, and I can't even kill it. My guys die left and right, but no, when I need a unit to die, it's like it takes forever. So I move up shock troops to try to like counter their advance, but they have 3 Volksgrenadier squads. That's not going to turn out very well. Long range fire will take out my shock troops, and I have to retreat them. If we look here, they try to decap point, but Redman is refocusing his efforts. And as you can see here, they're bringing out Jagdpanzers and whatnot. Pretty much they're trying to bring out better offensive. And if we look at resources, I'm not doing too bad. But pretty much, Redman has more forces. GTA, even like... Oh, where's the other guy? No. Tank Killer's doing okay. Oh, wait, is this over here? Oh, yeah, I did incendiary barrage, which made him retreat. So I was like, okay. And then, of course, they tried to attack with this Lukes. I love the Lukes. Again, please watch my World of Tank video with this thing, because it's probably one of the funniest things I've done in World of Tanks. But anyway, it's a great little light tank. Problem is, T-34 is a medium tank, and medium beats light, unless you have like 3 or 4. Then that kind of accumulates in a bunch of tanks that can pretty much pierce this. But overall, if you have a heavier tank, and there's like 2, maybe 3 smaller tanks, you can usually kill it. Now, of course, Redman is no fool, and he's gonna refocus his efforts and be like, okay, how do I kill this thing? Oh, I know. Let's get my riflemen with bazookas and then explode that with a grenade, and then move up and attack this thing. So of course, Dot Dot is been annoying me. He has now many more AT forces, along with some Mobile Soldaten, which are pretty much, with these MG34 light machine guns they have, it pretty much owns the infantry. Yeah. I'm pretty much just going to keep them suppressed. I also have my half-track moving up to help support the front line. But yeah, now Redman is doing this major assault here. And I'm just like, okay, if you need help, let me know. But I'm trying to hold the mid. So anyway. Oh, wow, yeah, he's definitely losing a lot. And then I move up to my half-track, which is starting to own these units. And as you can see here, that's currently firing on this one unit. And my T-34, I'm moving up to assist. I moved it back just in case, but yeah. So right now, Redman's doing a large assault. Try to break pretty much. Oh, who is this? Oh, Dark. But you can see all the forces moving up, and then he uses, again, use your abilities. He uses the captain, like all their abilities. That way you can like get out of suppression, which you can do, by the way. And that focuses up, and now he's going to completely flank this Jagdpanzer. I mean, it's going to be shot in the rear by so many bazookas. Captains have 2, and then of course the rest have 1. And I think he dropped a bazooka. I think. No, an MG34. Okay, that was there before. And he's going to just start owning every piece of infantry in his way. And of course you can see he has my mortar, which he stole. Thanks for that. And pretty much all the half-tracks. Of course, the enemy still has these support guns firing. They have a better, they have a lot of units right here, and of course the Jagdpanzer, which has pretty much been annoying Redman tank killer. They do have some tanks, they do have some AT and MGs, but again, it's just a very heavy defense. They also, I guess, quickly Majumbo rushed some forces down the middle in our effort to try to hurry and decap the fuel and everything. That way we can decrease and catch up. Now, Redman is currently attacking pretty much everything, and this is, wow, that poor, he literally exploded from that Panzer, bazooka, sorry. But he's pretty much killing this, the mortar team, and of course, his ally, Dot Dot, is sending a lot of forces in and around. I'm now moving up forces, slowly but surely, to capture my points, because again, he pushed me pretty hard, I lost a lot. But again, he lost quite a lot of forces as well. And look at that, kills it. I called incendiary barrage because he asked me to, but I guess that was kind of squandered. Should have probably called it over here, but now we know that not only this, but we can see his forces in the shadow, like, moving here, so now we know, hey, where he is. They start bringing in, like, these planes, and I start shooting at him with my half-track, like, okay, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, he's dropping in forces. Well, yeah, that's great for him. He's going to be dropping in some forces. But the problem is, there's so many forces right there, that even with all the guns currently firing, my anti-air is just wrecking house. And with the paratroopers moving in, this thing doesn't stand a chance. And he pretty much just wasted it, to be completely honest. Anyway, Dot, however, so if we look at Dark, yeah, Dark had some issues. Dark is, let's see, yeah, he has a few units left. Actually, let's go around. GTA has a lot of AT, good overall force. Tank Killer, good overall force. Again, he's trying to hold his sector. Has a Jackson, which is very nice, good AT killer. Probably should have better penetration. It says it can penetrate the armor of most enemy vehicles, yet I've seen this thing bounce, and it's incredibly annoying when it bounces, even when it has like the armor-piercing rounds. So, Redman was starting to complain about that. Redman's pushing up and countering Dot Dot's forces heavily, and of course I'm here, and also trying to counter. And look at all the, by the way, support artillery and everything currently hitting his forces. That's a lot. That's annoying. So now they're trying to counter with their own AT, but yeah, how long can that last? So anyway, Redman is pushing up, and we're like, oh, nice. I move a T-34. I'm saving for pretty much an IS-2. My main point about this is, alright, I'm saving for it because of the simple fact, finish that mine, by the way. Kind of annoyed me. It's like, I need to finish that. I moved this thing up that way he could heal his forces, those that were injured. And, yeah. That's pretty cool. Should have probably did that. Anyway. Move up quite a healing my forces, move up T-34, that way some armor and some half-track to pretty much hold that midpoint. Pretty much again, this guy pretty much lost quite a bit of his forces. And overall, this map is a pretty close game. Even though we have the major points, we can't push up that much, especially in dot dot. And all this support fire and everything and AT defensive is pretty much just make it one heck of a battle for this point. Again, neither side is really winning or losing. It's just a stalemate going back and forth between this point. The middle, of course, was broken. And if we look over here, you're like, oh, Red Man had top forces. Well, they all fell back when, yeah, a ton of forces just came in with AT and almost a dot. And that pretty much just wrecked house. And now they have their own AT forces, the Rackenwerfer. So pretty much he's a good overall AT force. And then, of course, he has his anti-infantry force. So, yeah, there's that. And now my T-34 is taking quite a bit of damage. Unfortunately for them, I got just enough points to get this thing. And I'm like, oh ho ho, you're gonna die. Sure, they killed my T-34, but I got an IS-2, and I'll say this. Good luck. It's not the best tank in the game by far, but it'll definitely do a lot of damage before you even pretty much can counter. Now, of course... Wait, hold on. I think I put this... Oh, yeah, here we go. So pretty much GTA is like, I need help with these support guns. So I'm like, okay. I literally did Incineration Barrage and started burning them. That way I can at least do a lot of damage, make them fall back, stop firing it, the bare minimum. The bare minimum. But luckily this guy is not the smartest cookie, and he loses a majority of his forces. Yeah, so yeah, he just got those burned. So now he has one. And yeah, one's good, but not nearly as good as three. And then, of course, GTA for good measure calls in an artillery strike. Pretty nice GTA. I think it was GTA. No, it wasn't GTA. Who was it? Tank Killer? Yep, time. Alright, yeah, it was. My bad. Nice job, Tank Killer. So we completely pushed them back with my IS-2, which did very, very little. And now we're like, okay, we know they're around this corner. Take them out. And I love all the, like, Panzerschreck shots like, oh, you can pierce my armor. No, you can't. So now we're pushing up, pushing in. We have a ton of infantry forces. I'm focusing on this. And I'm like, okay, fall back a little bit. Because my idea is like, okay, they're pretty much just firing at me from this angle. Let the trees cover, and then I can just keep firing at this. However, unfortunately, something's going to stop our little offensive. This. Oh, and then I move my conscripts. They do a nice little counterattack to stop that. Because I was trying to move in on one way. That didn't work. They fired enough bazooka charges. I'm like, move. I can't get my tank out. So luckily he's kind enough to move his tank. I get my IS-2 out of there. We move up the remaining infantry forces to pretty much hold. Now, of course, I have enough for incendiary barrage. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rush up my conscripts. I know I'm using Ura, but again, I have enough right now that I'll still be able to. And by the way, over here, that Jackson and shock troops are pretty much doing a heck of a job pushing them up and off this munitions point. But anyway, more artillery coming in. My shock troops are about to die. I'm like, calling the incineration barrage. Now, there we go. And pretty much while we retreat, I get my IS-2s retreating, Jackson's covering. I'm going to do a nice little incendiary barrage on this, which is going to do two things. First off, it's going to burn up his infantry trying to heal. I wish it would have went a little bit more all over, but yeah, and it's also going to damage his buildings, so they're not going to have a chance to heal. Oh, and if something just crashed. Oh wow. That must have been scary for that Stuka. It's like a plane. Wait, did two planes crash? One in here, one here? That, I don't care. That Stuka has to be like scared out of its mind. It's like a plane just crashed next to me. But of course, that's what you get. If you have enough of these AA forces, they will literally shoot down a ton of aircraft and be a very, very, very painful threat. Red Man thought it would be a great idea to drop in paratroopers. The problem with paratrooper drops that I will reiterate now, when they drop down, what the heck? they're still okay. I think. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, they're all okay. Well, anyway, they did that Fallschirmjäger thing and attacked here to recapture the point. Luckily, Ryan has the IS-152, which is pretty much going to kill these things close to the point where it's like they almost didn't capture it. But they did. Oh, they at least decapped it. That thing's still not going to survive. So anyway, they move up all their forces, and as you can see here, Purple is now assisting them. They're now getting support. And, yeah, I'm also getting tired because, as you can see, pretty much we're trying to push up, and, we're currently just, like, having a lot of troubles with these, Stukas. Because what the Stukas are doing are pretty much using artillery to pretty much hammer Redman's infantry. And, again, if you do that enough, it does affect it over time. Now, as you can see here, of course, when he starts attacking, they're going to get the Stukas in check and then start bombing. Which, as soon as he sees it, he's going to move his troops. But he's going to lose an MG, almost lose a paratrooper, and have his Jackson take a lot of damage. Look at that. Jackson lost half health from that. But luckily, at least one positive note, Ryan is pushing them back pretty far. They do have a Jagdpanzer that's pretty started up, and that's really nice. Again, like an Su-85, but for the German side, can't really use scope. But again, it can't really deal with that thing. But anyway, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of that Stuka. All their AT forces are over here. Let's just go around. So, I'm about to show you the greatest chase in Company of Heroes 2 history. Now, of course, my T-34 sees this. I'm like, no, I'm just going to go right through. So I do. I'm just like, F it. Go right through. Is that still my mortar? Anyway, run right through. And then I'm like, okay, where is their Stuka? I know this thing's here, so I'm like, alright, hard right. I think GTA sent his yeah, he sent a Sherman, but that didn't go really far. So anyway, I'm still going, and it's retreating, and it's like, okay, go T-34, chase those Stukas. And by the way, on my screen, like, they're just barely in and out of, like, pretty much sight. So I'm just like, keep chasing them, keep getting them, go, go, go. And it's like, oh no, don't miss. And I see the Panzer Strike, I'm like, it's gonna die. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm still alive. I'm also happy these were machine guns, not flak turrets, because otherwise I probably would have died. And I'm like, oh my god, I got this. Killed one, just like, one more shot, I'm not dying yet. And I'm like, oh my god, just run, just run, just run. And then the Panzer Strike killed me. But I still thought, hey, that was pretty awesome. I took out both Stukas with one T-34. That's a positive in my book. So my IS-2 is done and healed, but there's also one other issue. Yup. 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 They have a King Tiger. Oh, and by the way, they also have a Jagdtiger, which threw Ryan through a loop and made him like fall back a little bit. But anyway, he of course you see the pretty much the King Tiger's owning, but then I'm like, oh no you don't. That poor troop that got like close to it. Oh, and there's the Jackson also, and then we're like, alright, chase it, chase it, chase it, go, 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 go. By the way, how does that bounce? It's rear armor, I think. Oh no, it's in the front, never mind. But that thing is so close to dying, I'm like, alright, charge. But they still have enough, they have all this AT, which again, the Racket Warfare is not that great, but I kill it right as it fires a shot and kills, unfortunately, that thing. And then if this thing is so close to dying, my IS-2's like, oh no, you don't! One last shot! Kill the King Tiger. I was like, they have nothing left. So, this thing is about to fall back. I got a second one, by the way. And they were very confused. So like, wait, what's going on? Because they were so like, my King Tiger's dead. And then of course you have this Jagdtiger, which again my two IS-2s are pretty much over there. Got done a massive amount of damage by his ISU-152 from Ryan. But unfortunately, Ryan just got a new one, so he's not going anywhere. Unfortunately, my IS-2 did unfortunately die. However, There's all, and again, it was retreating, and it showed its rear armor. The basic stuff. So I'm like, all right, I'm done. So I tell my shock troops to capture this fuel point because I'm like, I'm not giving them any more fuel for another one. But then I'm like, what can I do? And then it starts shooting me. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. Move my shock troops back up here again. Panzerschreck, always great. So I'm gonna tell it to start firing here, and then just to mess with them, I called out an incineration barrage, which I was hoping for it to get a little closer, but no, it fires on this angle. But that's gonna help me hurt this, and also keep their infantry back. As you can see here, they're slowly burning a little bit, but it's gonna keep their infantry from coming near me. My shock troops are holding this point and decapping, which is very nice. So I have more troops coming in, and my MG and whatnot guarding these areas. But pretty much my IS-2 is doing quite a lot of damage. Now, of course, you want to see something major. How about the death of a Jagdtiger from the hands of an IS-2 and a Sherman? And another Sherman. All three. Redman, Tank Killer, and Ryan joined forces to kill the Jagdtiger. But yeah, they were calling in all sorts of stuff to pretty much hold them back. And also, yeah, you have to remember that's a pretty much the Jagdpanzer. So they lost a good majority of their tanks. And now, of course, if you're wondering how he did that, he called in the airstrike ability, which targets tanks. So now, as you can see, they don't really have that much in the way of armor. And oh yeah, I did another incineration barrage. It burned the infantry up, and it's about to kill this. Again, incineration barrage does hurt buildings, so it was enough to kill it, which I was like, yes, that's what you get. I have my IS-2 retreating because I don't want to attack again. I'm moving up infantry units to capture the Star, even though they have units trying to capture that. The Sherman and pretty much Redman's own forces, even though he lost quite a lot of his forces from those Stukas, we're able to take them out and pretty much regroup and push up. Yeah. Oh, and then when they say well played, allies, which I was like, oh, okay. I like how this thing is still alive. It's like, can we just take it over? Wow. Wow. I didn't even see this. Really? Seriously? So they have a Panther command tank coming up, so that's part of his doctrine. And that's why he's able to get the Elba Soldaten with the pretty much the early design. Actually, these were assault rifles, as a GTA told me. Pretty much, oh god, the assault rifles he gives them were pretty much one of the first, I believe, the first assault rifle created again. And if they would have gone to production, they were supposed to be eventually produced for every German soldier. So if think about it, if the entire German army has assault rifles and then every other army has rifles and submachine guns, I don't care who you are, pretty much assault rifles are the good all-around unit. And yeah, they probably would have done some damage. Well, anyway, luckily, unfortunately, they didn't do that. And unfortunately, the very few they did supply weren't able to hold our Allied advance. And pretty much GTA's Allied advance, because he was going for the base, man. He was just like, I'm done, I'm tired, I'm going for that base. Because as you can see, they pretty much had they didn't really have any major armor or obstacles pretty much left. The best fighting force, as you can see, was ... And even him, well, yeah, even he pretty much didn't have something super effective to pretty much hold our lines. A Panther is great. It's not going to hold back an IS-2, supported by well-rounded infantry and a Sherman, and then deal with, like, if all these forces moved up and be pushed over. But yeah, that was game. That was a pretty good game, pretty intense game. I was very happy that we were able to like remove the King Tiger and the Jagdtiger from play relatively easy, because there are games where that thing is a lasting unit, and you do not want that thing around in a game for very long, because again, that King Tiger or Jagdtiger, very effective. They get ranked up. That's just more of a that's a stronger unit you have to deal with, so take them out quickly and effectively. Excuse me. Look at score. The best player on our team, hands down, Redman. You got a ton of kills. Tank Killer and myself, we were lower. I don't know how I only got 12. Again, I killed the King Tiger, did a lot of incendiary barrage damage. I'm not sure if that counted, but still, I did pretty good. And GT, of course, did amazing. Of course, even as a Soviet player, he had a positive KD, so that's something for you. Um, if you're a Wehrmacht player and you have a negative KD, that's not exactly a good sign, even when you lose. Usually, it's a positive. Anyway, so that ISU 152 definitely helped him out. But yeah, overall, if we look, they did pretty well. Dot Dot was probably the best guy on their team, but they did solid. Again, if none of them, they're all three around the same, so the and they got pretty good kills wise. So it's not like they weren't doing anything. They actually, I mean, they had a pretty good effective fighting force. We just try to move around them, and again, having both. Again, the Overcommando player, it's like one strategy they go to, and that's why they're having so much trouble on the left side, was because, again, there's a Wehrmacht and Overcommando, and then an American and Soviet, so it was pretty much an equal fight if you have both of them fighting each other, roughly. I know, German armor late game is very effective, but as we just saw, you can get your own heavy armor to deal with it. Yeah, or use something. But in any case, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.
Alright. Flares going up. We'll see what they have. Oh, nope. Stay the fuck back. I like how the gun is. Please tell me that's not an IS-2. Why are you